Hello, I'm Dr. Niesgold, and welcome back to AZH Wound Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for another COVID edition of the Wound Care Window. I'd like to share with you a patient story, kind of an interesting story. This is a two-parter. This is some follow-up as well as a return visit for a new problem. Mr. B here saw us about 16, 17 months ago, right?
Yeah,
And you had a wound on your right ankle.
for a long time,
Yeah.
many months.
Well, looking at that right ankle now, this wound looks pretty darn good, and it has stayed healed for over a year now.
Correct.
That's fabulous.
No pain, no problem.
I'm going to show you a picture of the initial wound, and we took special care of that wound. We used a fancy treatment on you, didn't we?
Yes,
Dermapace.
yes,
What did you think about that?
perfect.
It hadn't healed for how long before you came here?
10 months.
10 months, and then we did some dermapace, and it healed up over a couple of weeks.
Right.
So fabulous. Well, I appreciate you sharing that story, as does the rest of the world, and hopefully as does the insurance payers out there. They should know about
That
dermapace
really worked great.
and really look at reimbursing it globally across the spectrum. But you're here for a new problem,
I'm not related at all.
not related to your ankle. You had a little work on one of the valves, huh?
I knew the aorta valve.
And they did that through your groin approach.
Correct,
And you had some problems healing the groin wound.
correct.
Okay, well, let's take a look at it. This is the teaching lesson here today for the edition of Wound Care Window. This is the left groin wound. Looking at the wound, you look at it and you say, well, it has a little fibrin in it. We should treat it with appropriate topical, and that should heal fine. However, closer inspection of the wound finds this. John, Jess, what do you think that is?
Internal suture.
It's a little suture, and it's a foreign body. In fact, some of it just fell apart right there. John, if you look at my glove, there some of it is. And what he's doing is he's having a little bit of a foreign body reaction to a subcutaneous suture, and that is causing the wound not to heal. So the lesson today is you need to be really good about evaluating your wounds, and when you do find foreign bodies, even if they're suture type materials, that needs to be removed. The body will react with some inflammation and prevent that from healing. So we've taken that foreign body out. Let's now take a look at the wound and see how it looks. Fairly nice and clean. I don't see any other evidence of a foreign body. Removing that single suture is not going to cause any problems with wound. There's really no depth here at all. It's going to have no problems with wound separation or dehiscence. We're going to start an appropriate topical now, and I think this will fill in really quite readily over the next couple of weeks. But here's an issue with a inflammatory reaction to a foreign body, and this just reinforces the fact that as wound care providers, we need to really look at these wounds, evaluate them, and identifying the cause. Sometimes causes you might not even expect. Thanks for joining us on another edition of the Wound Care Window.